Quality management and process improvement approaches. The PMBOK project quality processes are compatible with other quality management approaches. It's necessary for the project team to have a general understanding of different quality management approaches for a couple of reasons. The first is because when projects are performed for external customers, the customer may require project quality management to align with its own organizational practices. The second is that when a performing organization does not have a formal quality management methodology, or there are multiple methodologies in place because several organizations are involved in the project, it's up to the project team to develop their own quality policy for the project. Total Quality Management Cmmi Overview. TQM embeds awareness of and participation in quality activities throughout all of an organization processes and its business, management, and culture. TQM aims to provide increased customer satisfaction at ever lower costs. History. Armand Feigenbaum introduced the concept of total quality control in his 1951 book, Quality Control, Principles, Practice, and Administration. Over time, Feigenbaum's idea evolved through the efforts of W. Edwards Deming, Joseph Uran, Philip B. Crosby, and Kaoru Ishikawa into total quality management. TQM continues to evolve and is embedded in other management practices. Philosophy. 5 basic principles involved in TQM. 1. Management commitment. 2. Employee empowerment. 3. Fact-based decision-making. 4. Continuous improvement. 5. Customer focus. Main TQM elements. Deming's Plan-Do-Check-Act cycle drives the TQM process. Quality must be managed. Everyone is a customer to someone, and is a supplier to somebody. Processes, not people, are the problem. Everyone within an organization is responsible for quality. Problems must be prevented and not just fixed. Quality improvements must be continuous. Quality goals are based on requirements and can't be compromised. Life cycle costs are what should be considered and not front-end costs. Management must lead and support quality effort. Six Sigma Overview. Six Sigma focuses on continuous efforts to remove the causes of defects and variances within processes. Efforts are driven by quantifiable and measurable results and passionate leadership. In Six Sigma, add effect is anything that can lead to customer dissatisfaction. Six Sigma is also inspired by Deming's Plan-Do-Check-Act cycle. History. Six Sigma was first conceived and formulated by Bill Smith at Motorola. Though originally used in the manufacturing sector, Six Sigma is used in all types of businesses. Philosophy. There are 2 core methods of Six Sigma. One for improving existing processes or products and a second for creating new processes or products. ISO 9000 Overview. The International Standards Organization developed the ISO 9000 to help make sure that companies follow their own prescribed processes. The ISO 9000 standard can be used by any company or industry. What we collectively refer to as ISO 9000 actually contains 3 quality standards: ISO 9000 to 2005, ISO 9001 to 2000, and ISO 9004 to 2000. ISO certification, for example, ISO 9001, is not a guarantee in itself of compliance to quality processes. History. The first ISO 9000 version was completed in 1987 and has undergone several revisions. Philosophy. The ISO 9000 standard has 8 principles: customer focus, leadership, involvement of people, process-based approach, system approach to management, continual improvement, factual approach to decision-making, mutually beneficial supplier relationship, failure mode and effect analysis. Fmea Overview. Failure mode and effect analysis looks for potential or actual defects in a process or product and studies their consequences. History. Fmea was originally used in the military in the 1940s, used by NASA in the 1960s, and by Ford Motor Company in the 1970s. 13. The updated Fmea procedures published in the MILSTD 1629A document are those generally accepted in both military and commercial industries. Philosophy. Fmea starts with a process diagram and a thorough analysis. Actual or potential failures are then identified and their severity, number of occurrences, and how likely they are to be detected are logged onto a matrix. Failures are then ranked by risk, and actions are identified to mitigate or prevent failures and improve early detection. Quality Function Deployment. Qfd Overview. Qfd aims to link the needs of the customer with all production components, such as design, development, engineering and manufacturing. Quality Function Deployment chooses elements of systems thinking, psychology, and epistemology to uncover explicit and unspoken customer needs and identifying business opportunities. History. Qfd was started by Professor Shigeru Mizuno and Yuji Akao in Japan in the 1960s. 14. Though originally developed for manufacturing industries, Qfd was adopted in the 1980s by other industries, including software development and service industry. Philosophy. In very general terms, Qfd follows 4 phases to develop a house of quality. The HOQ is matrix that represents the relationships between items in the matrix, and includes UMs, such as customer requirements, technical requirements, and targets. Capability Maturity Model Integration. Cmmi Overview. Cmmi provides a framework that focuses on improving business processes by establishing best practices and then appraising those organizations on a maturity level from 1 to 5. A higher maturity level indicates that an organization practices are more likely to be efficient and quality-focused. History. Cmmi was developed by a consortium of experts from Carnegie Mellon University, industry, and the U.S. government. There are currently 3 Cmmi models that have been released between 2006 and 2009. Philosophy. Organizations undergo appraisals to determine their Cmmi compliance and be awarded a maturity level rating. 1. Initial. The procedures for managing the process are reactive in nature rather than proactive. 2. Managed. The process is managed through isolated projects or similar efforts. 3. Defined. The process is tailored towards organizational needs rather than just being focused on isolated projectized objectives. 4. Quantitatively managed. The process is aggressively measured and controlled. 5. Optimizing. There are concerted and ongoing efforts focused on improving the process.